Good morning. Good morning. Hi, cubies and newbies. I am Sunshine. This is the ABCube method for solving Rubik's Cubes. How are we doing this morning? We got through another weekend. Start of a whole new week again. All right. So it's Monday. Good morning. For those, let's see. Hi, Donk. Hi, Dropsnet. Okay, so this is the ABCube method for solving Rubik's Cubes. It's not a speed solve method. It's not a fewest move method. If you're racing the clock, this is not going to help you. But for your friends who just want to know the secret and don't care about speed, this is that. This is I believe it's the easiest way to learn. It's the easiest way to learn the 5x5, that much I know. Because most people you have to learn the 3x3 and then learn more things to do the 4, and then more things to do the 5. Hi, school bus. How are you doing? School bus 455. Okay, so this method treats every complexity Rubik's Cube the exact same way. We've got a 4-move pattern and an 8-move pattern. The 4-move is 1 row, 1 column. You hold the cube in your hand and look at the front of the cube as if you're looking at a spreadsheet with rows and columns. And this is, instead of telling you that we're going to move the down counterclockwise, it's visual for people who have brains like me that have a hard time translating the letters to the faces. So formula A is 4 moves, and it's 1 row, 1 column. And just like B, it's a mathematical 0. It's a commutator. For every left there's a right, for every up there's a down. So it doesn't move, it only moves the pieces that you want to move. It doesn't mess up the rest of the things you've already solved. So formula A can affect the absolute center, or it's usually done to affect the corners, bottom row, right column. It'll bring a corner to the top, and it'll twist the corner around if the corner needs to twist. It's formula A. Formula B is the top row and 2 columns, and depending on which 2 columns you use, you select the piece you want to move, and the 2 columns are determined by the cube based on where that cube is to begin with and where that cube wants to land. So formula B with the outside columns moves corners, outside, inside. 1 outside, 1 inside moves edges, and 2 inside columns will move centers. And with that one, formula A is all you need to know to learn in order to solve every complexity Rubik's Cube. But like I said, it is not a speed solve method. It is not a fewest moves method. But you can learn it inside of 2 hours and apply it to every complexity cube. So you can when I teach the cube, I teach starting with either the 5x5 or the 4 set of learning cubes, the 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that being said, who do we have with us today? I always feel like Romper Room when I stream. Okay. All right. So I did the corners on Saturday. I'm going to scramble them all because Monday is a good time to start with corners. Okay. So no matter which cube you have in your hand, that cube has 8 corners. It will work on anything that is an n by n by n cube. It'll work on the 3x9, would even 3x9 with a minor adaptation. It works on some shape mods that I can solve this 5x5, this plus cube with it. I just pretend that it's a 5x5 cube with pieces missing, and work with the columns that are left. Also works on every minx. Does not address parities. It's because parities are a lie, and you don't have to play with them unless you want to. Because, like I said, formula A brings a piece to the top, and formula B moves three pieces around. And with that, you can solve every complexity cube. So, your cube has 8 corners. Pick a corner. Your corner has 3 colors on it. Pick a color. We're going to start by working with just the corners, and we're going to start with working with just one color. And so I start with yellow because I was color neutral and my alpha tester said, tell us what to do. So, okay. So I find a corner piece that has a yellow on it. I put it under my left thumb. I'm holding it in both hands, and again I'm looking at the front of the cube as if it were a spreadsheet with rows and columns. So the corner that I selected is under my left thumb with the active color on top. This corner then is correct. We're going to make all the rest of the cube match it because that's how powerful you are. The cube that you select is the right one. So we're looking at only corners. So we look at the corner that's under my right thumb. Now, let's see. Looks too simple. I didn't scramble it very well. Let's make it more messy. Okay, so we look at the corner under my right thumb because the left one's correct. We're going to try to match it. So we look at this corner and we see where our active color is yellow. So we're looking to see if there's a yellow anywhere on these 3 corners. And if there is it on top? If it's on top, we're going to slide it out of the way and keep going with the next corner. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring yellow to the top on all of our 4 corners. So if there's a yellow anywhere here, formula A will bring it to the top. If there's not, we look down here at the other corner, because these are the 2 corners that are going to flip back and forth. So if there's a yellow anywhere here or here, then formula A will bring it to the top. So 1 row, one column. It's the bottom row and the right column because I'm right-handed. So the action's taking place in this row. So I want to preserve this piece. So I'm going to move it out of the action, away from the action. Move the space down, move the cube into the space, and the cube in the space back up again. So that flipped these 2, did a bunch of other things, but we don't care about that yet. So is yellow on top? It's on the top layer, but not the top face. So I'm going to do formula A again, and I'm going to keep doing formula A until the yellow does come to the top face, because it will. And when it's on the top face, then I hold the cube stable, slide the top out of the way to protect it, and I keep going. So, is there a yellow anywhere on this cube? No. Is there a yellow anywhere on this cube? Again, if there's a yellow anywhere on these 2 cubies, these 2 corner cubies, A will bring it to the top because it switches these 2 and twists them around. But if there's not, you have to rotate the bottom by quarter turns to keep the cube stable. Rotate the bottom by quarter turns until the answer is yes. So there is a yes on a yellow on one of these 2, and formula A will bring it to the top. If it doesn't do it right away, we just keep doing it. There are shorter ways, there are quicker ways, but this is a I teach total non-cubers who think they can't learn inside of 10 minutes, inside of 2 hours. So yellow's on top, hold the cube stable, slide it out of the way, keep going with this cube. If there's a yellow here or here, A will bring it to the top. If not, I rotate the bottom until there is. And then out, down, in, up. Okay. Yellow's on top on all 4 corners. That's what we wanted to do. So let's do that again. We find the yellow, and this is the correct corner, and we're going to make all the rest of the cube match it. So is there a yellow here or here? The answer is yes. I could muscle it into place, but I don't want to do that because out, down, in, up. Okay, slide. Keep going for corner yellow here or here, out, down, in, up, slide. Keep going. Is there a yellow here or here? No. Rotate the bottom. There it is. And then formula A will bring it to the top. In 5 or less moves. All right, so yellow's on top on all of these. Let's try this one. I didn't scramble this one yet. Ha ha ha. It's still solved. Corners are solved from Saturday. Let's just scramble. Okay. Find a corner that has yellow on it. It's on the top face and it's under my left thumb. I look at this corner. There's no yellow, but there's a yellow on this one. So if there's a yellow on one of these two, formula A will bring it to the top. Bottom row, right column. And when it's on top, slide the top to protect it. Keep the cube stable and continue if there's a yellow here or here. And if not, now there is. So formula A will bring it to the top. Okay, and yellow's on top. Keep the cube stable, slide the top to move it out of the way and continue with this corner. There is a yellow. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. And there it is. Yellow's on top. Okay, let's do it again. Is there a yellow here or here? No. There's a yellow there. Okay, so formula A will bring it to the top. Bottom row, right column. For every left there's a right, for every up there's a down. Okay. Slide the top. Keep the cube stable. Slide the top to move to protect it. Is there a yellow here or here? No, but there's one there. Now there is. Out, down, in, up. Until the yellow comes to the top. There it is. Slide it out of the way. Let's keep going. Yellow here, no. Yellow here, no. Now there is. Out, down, in, up. Yellow's on top at all four corners. Okay, so when you get to this point, one of three things has happened. Because your corners have three colors and not just one. So the yellow with the active color on top, in this case yellow, we're now going to look at the other two colors of the corners. We're still ignoring everything but the corners. We're only looking at the corners. But instead of looking only at yellow, we're looking at the other faces as well. So at this point in time, one of three things has happened. Either the sides will match to each other, or either all four sides will match to each other, one side will match, or no sides will match. One of those three things has to be the case. And so we're going to assess which it is. So for here, green does not equal blue, red does not equal orange, blue does not equal green, orange does not equal red. So this one has none of the sides that match. Okay, so put it in that column. This one, red equals red, green equals green, orange equals orange, blue equals blue. This one has all of them matching. Okay, and then this one, orange does not equal red, but blue equals blue. So this one has one side that matches, and this one has one side that matches as well. If all of the sides already match, you can pause your cube and wait until for everyone else to catch up, because we're because the end result here, desired result, is to have all the corners match as well for your first face. So this one's already done. If you have one side that matches, or if you'd have no sides that matches, we're going to do the same thing in either case, but the cube will advance one stage. So if none of them match, and I do my next step, my next pattern, my next step, then I will end up with one side that matches. But until one side matches, it doesn't matter which way I hold it, which face I hold it to begin with. But if there is a side that matches, I need to have that matching face facing away, like headlights of a car that you're sitting in and driving. So this one already matches. This one has no sides that match. So I'm going to do formula, so it doesn't matter which way I hold it. I'm going to do formula B, which is going for the top row and the outside columns, which is going to move corners around. And then I'm going to fall back into formula A to bring the color back to the top. So A was just 4 moves, B is 8 moves. Top row, outside columns on a 2x2, that's easy. Let's try it on 3x, okay. So, top row, slide first up, reverse second up, slide first down, reverse second down. Again, this piece stayed the same. These three pieces all moved, but we know how to bring the yellow to the top. So we're going to go right into formula A to bring the yellow to the top again. And when it's on top, keep the cube stable, slide the top to protect it, and more formula A, slide the top, up, down, and up, down, and up. When your color is back on the top, you will advance to the next step. So I had none of them match, and so now I have one side that matches. If you do have one side that matches, you have to hold the cube so the matching is facing away from you. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do formula B and then formula A to bring it to the top. Bring the yellow back to the top. So slide up, slide down, and then formula A to bring our active color back to the top again. Keep the cube stable, slide the top. More formula A. Keep the cube stable, slide just the top. And the yellow is on top on all four corners now, and we've advanced to the next stage where the sides match. Okay, so same thing on this one. Blue is the color, matching colors faces away. Formula B is slide up, slide down, and then formula A goes back to the top. Keep the cube stable. Now the reason why we're keeping the cube stable is because it really doesn't matter at first, is because we will solve the second four corners the exact same way we solved the first four corners. So you only need to learn one way to solve the corners because it works on the first and the second. First four and the second four. So the yellow's back to the top and the corners match. Okay. Again, matching color behind. We're ignoring everything but the corners. And then formula B, slide up, slide down. And then this one stayed the same. These three all moved. Formula B, A, formula to bring the color back to the top. Keep the cube stable. The reason why we're keeping the cube stable is when we're working on the second four corners, if we rotate the cube while we're in the middle of a set, it will scramble the rest of the cube. We don't want to scramble the rest of the cube. So we just learned to do it right the first time. So yellow's on top, corners match to each other, and that's the first step. But the first four corners are done. Now we're going to do the second four corners, and we do it the exact same way we did. We take the cube. Our yellows are correct. We're going to put them face down. We're going to abandon the yellows because we trust them. Specifically what that means is formula A and formula B is only going to affect the top layer, and so the rest of the cube will be unaffected. So these bottom four corners are going to be unaffected. So the first thing to do is what color is opposite yellow, because that's the color that we're going to be working on next. And so you look at the corners to see what color they all have in common. On most cubes, opposite yellow is going to be white. Some cubes are differently colored, so but it's all four colors have the same color, and it's not a color that's touching your yellow, so it's white. If we have a white corner up already, we'll start with that one, but if we don't, it doesn't matter, we'll start anywhere. And so we're going to, once we start, we're not going to twist the cube until our active color, which is now white, is going to be on top. So we don't have to check to see if the white's there, we already just did that. So we know that formula A is going to bring the white to the top. So bottom row, right column, out, down, in, up, formula A, out, down, in, up. And we're going to do this until the white is on the top face. There it is. Okay. Keep the cube stable, rotate the top to preserve that, and continue with this corner. Is the white on top? If so, slide it. If not, twist it until the white's on top with formula A. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Okay, white's on top, slide it. Keep going. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Slide. Out, down, in, up. Now we can see that the yellow is dancing all around, but we're ignoring it because once the white's on top on all four corners, then we can check, and whatever dancing around it did, it resolved itself back into place because formula A and formula B only affect the pieces that you want to affect. So white's on top, yellows are still happy. So let's do the same thing for this one. Yellow's face down, white is indeed the top color. They all have a white. This one is there already, so I'm going to hold the cube stable until the white's on top on all four corners. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Okay, white's on top, slide it out of the way. White's on top, slide it out of the way. This one can still be twisted. So out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Formula A until the white comes to the top. And now we can check, and our yellows are still happy. They're still where they're supposed to be and correct to each other. Okay, so we brought the white to the top. Let's do it on this one. Yellow face down. Start with one that's already white, if there is one. And Formula A to twist this cube until the white's on top. It's multiple of 2 because it goes down and then it comes back up again. White's on top. Hold the cube stable. Twist it out of the way. Top row only. Continue with this one, Formula A. And yes, we can see that the yellow is dancing around, but we're ignoring it, yellow, until we get the white on top on all four corners. And now the yellow has resolved itself. Resolved, resolved. Okay, so white's on top here, white's on top here, white's on top here. Yellows are still happy. Yellow face down, here's a white. Again, bottom row, right column, until the white is on the top. Okay, hold the cube stable, slide the top row only. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Out, down, in, up. Slide the top. Formula A until the white's on top. We're ignoring the yellows, even though we can see that they're dancing around. And when the white's on top, the yellows are back in where they're supposed to be. See how, did anyone join me? Good morning. If you've just joined me, I am Sunshine. And we're working on cubes this week, as we should. Our yellows, we're working on corners. Our yellows are done. We've got the white to the top color. Now, same as with the first four corners, at this point in time, one of 3 things has happened. With the white on top, looking at the side colors of the corners, either all 4 sides match to each other, none of the 4 sides match to each other, or one side matches. You can't have it any other way, unless you've been peeling stickers off. Don't peel stickers off. Don't peel stickers off. Okay, so this one, orange equals orange, green does not equal red, blue does not equal green, red does not equal blue. So this one has one side. This one, green does not equal red, blue does not equal green. So this one has one side. This one side. Most of the time you'll have one side, but sometimes you won't. So this one, red does not equal orange, blue does not equal green, red does not equal orange, blue does not equal green. So if none of the sides are correct, it doesn't matter which way you hold it to begin with. If there is one side that's correct, you want to hold the matching face facing away from you, as if it were headlights on a car that you're driving. So, there is a shortcut you can do. There's lots of shortcuts you can do. You guys can figure this. This is not a speed solve method. This is not a fewest moves method. This is pick the cube up, put it down, solved, and then you can practice your algorithms on the solved cube, so you can see what they do and when to use them. My brother can do the cube and I can't. He's tried to teach me, but I couldn't learn. I'm too stupid. This is the method for non-cubers. It can be learned inside of 2 hours, works on every complexity cube. And so if you don't care about speed or efficiency, because this is lousy with regrips, it's not a speed solve method, but it's like the dancing bear. It's not that it dances well, it's that it dances at all. This does work, and it works on every complexity Rubik's Cube, every complexity Minx. So, white's on top, yellows are all happy, correct to each other. This one, like I said, these ones have, if one side matches, hold it so the cube matching face is facing away from you. And you're into Formula B, which is going to move 3 pieces around. and then A will bring the white back to the top again, and neither B nor A is going to affect our yellows, so we just ignore the yellows until the whites are back. So top row, outside columns, and move this away, first up, back, second up, away, down, back, down, and formula A to bring the whites back to the top. Slide. And as long as you don't twist the cube or get confused with other cube pieces, like looking at the edges instead of the things, okay, when whites are back on top, the white corners are now happy with each other, the yellow corners are still content, and so all that's needed is to rotate the top until the top and bottom match as needed, and boom, these 8 corners are done. Okay, so that's done. This one didn't have a match, so it doesn't matter which way I hold it. But after I finish this step, it will have a match, and then it will determine which way I hold it. So, slide up, slide down, and then formula A to bring white back to the top again. Hold the cube stable, rotate the top, continue with this corner. White's on top, hold the cube stable, slide the top only, continue with this corner. Okay, and white's on top, our yellows have resolved themselves. Okay, so now we have one side that matches. Okay, it's the orange, so holding that face away from us. When we finish, Kayak Sheep says, "Old woman." I am, but I don't know if that means something else, so I'm going to refrain from commenting. Hello, first time chatter. Thank you for chatting with me. I appreciate the feedback. If you've just found me, I am Sunshine. I created the ABCube method for solving Rubik's Cubes. Works on every complexity Rubik's Cube, but it is not a speed solve method, not a fewest move method. It's clunky as hell, but it works on every complexity Rubik's Cube using just formula A, just formula B. So, with the matching side facing away from us, we're doing corners today. With the matching side facing away from us, we're going to do formula B, which is going to move 3 corners around, and then formula A will bring it back to the top. So, slide up, slide down, and then out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Okay, keep the cube stable, rotate just the top row. Twist this one with more formula A. When white's on top, slide the top, keep going. Okay, white's on top again. This time the corners are correct to each other. Yellows are still happy. So rotate the top to the bottom until they match. Boom, and this one's done. So the corners are done on this one, corners are done on this one. Again, we've got one side that matches is facing away from us. And then formula A, top row, or formula B, top row, outside columns. Slide up, slide down, and then A to bring the white corners back to the top again. Bottom row, right column, out, down, in, up. When the white's on top, hold the cube stable, slide the top row only to protect and preserve this. And we're going to continue with this corner. And when the whites are on top on all of the corners, then we will check in with our yellows. In the meantime, we're abandoning our yellows. We're ignoring them because we see that they're dancing all around. And if we care, then we look at it and we say, oh no, we messed up our yellows, let's start over again. You don't have to, because formula A and formula B does not mess up the rest of the cube. So white's on top, corners match, yellow corners are still happy, top matches the bottom, so these corners are done. Once more, in case I didn't cover the pattern that's on your cube, yellows are happy, put them face down, we're abandoning them, find the matching colors, face it away. Top row, outside columns, slide up, slide down, and that did not affect our yellows. That only affected these 3 corners. You can't tell because it's scrambled, but let's do it. So out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. White's on top, slide it out of the way, keep the cube stable, continue, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. Slide it out of the way, keep going, and I'm ignoring my yellows. When white's on top, the yellows are back the way they wanted to be, haven't been unaffected. So now the first four corners are correct to each other, the second four corners are correct to each other. Rotate the top as needed until the top matches the bottom, and boom, we've just done the four corners. Now on the 2x2, that's all there is to it, so we're done. On the rest of them, the white corner, the corners, now correct to each other, are going to dictate what color each face is going to be. Back in the 80s, we worked around the absolute center because the absolute center did not move in relation to itself. That went out the window with the 4x4, but it wasn't broke, so we didn't fix it. This method works from the corners out because it works on every complexity cube. With the 4x4, until you've memorized the pattern, you can do the centers incorrectly, but once the corners are in place, then that dictates what colors the center wants to be. So we're treating doing all of our cubes the same way. So the next step up, the only thing that all of these cubes have in common now is the absolute center and the edges. So we're going to do the absolute center and the edges. We only know about the absolute center, what the absolute center is on the odd number cubes. We don't know on the even number cubes, or the non-center on the other one. So we're only care about the absolute center here. So at this point in time, I can just, my white's in place and my yellow's in place. I can just muscle it into place and have that done. It's going to get messed up as I work on the rest of the cube, but it's nice to have it set there. But if some of the centers, if the edges are already solved, if someone picks up your cube and just does boxes on it, you do need to know how to fix it, how to put it back again. So that was done with formula A. The one row is this column, this row, this column. Okay. Do it again. Out, down, in, up. Okay. The colors that are moving are top, front, and right. And once more, move this one. It wants to go there, and move it out, down, in, up. So the absolute center can be moved without affecting the edges or other things. So if we don't do it now, it doesn't matter. We can do it later, but we are going to do it now. We can't do it for this one because we don't know. So for the edges, as a newbie. As a newbie, because this is the newbie method. This is not going to this is not going to help you improve your speed time, unless except for perhaps if you don't know how to solve the cube another way. If you do your patterns on a solved cube, you can see your algorithms on a solved cube. You can see what happens better, and you can know when to use which one. But again, let's just demonstrate. From a solved cube, this is what the patterns do. Formula A. Okay, bottom row, right column, out, down, in, up. It moved these, switched these two, and other things on the bottom and edges, but we're not paying attention to that. Do it again, and I put it back in place and twisted it. So if what you want to do is to twist it or move a piece up, Formula A will do that for you. And a multiple of 6 gets you back to start. You haven't messed anything up. So you can twist things on the top corners around without messing up the bottom of the cube. Formula B, top row, 2 columns, up, up, down, down. With the top row and outside columns, you've moved 3 corners around. Okay, you're going to do it again. 3 times gets back to 0. Okay, so what's happening is this cube is going to move here, this cube's going to move here, and this cube's going to move here. So these two stay adjacent to each other in relation to the cube, and so it has the effect of looking like we're switching these 2 cubes, but that you're always moving 3, you're never moving 2, which is important to remember when you come with a parity later on, because parities are alive. We don't have to play with them unless we want to. They can be fun. So once more, slide up, slide down, slide down. Okay. But we can apply B to any particular QB. And if we do, then the cube dictates what the two columns are going to be. You don't have to remember, if I do this column, this is going to happen. You just you apply it to a particular piece. So if I apply it to this particular piece, okay, if I want to move this piece to the side, formula this piece to the side, then this is my top row still, and my two columns are going to be where it's going to land and where it begins. So to move this piece over here, the cube dictates this is the first column, this is the second column. So slide up, slide down, and we moved 3 edge pieces around, and only 3 edge pieces around. Again, up, down, down, and once more we'll put us into a solved position. So you can see how to line it up to go into solved is you want the corners to match the front color, and the top color determines which way it's going. Start by moving it away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down, and so formula A brings B to the top. Formula B, top row outside columns moves corners, top row outside and inside column moves edge pieces, to inner columns move center pieces. And again, you don't have to remember which columns to use as the cubes get larger. You just have to pick the cube you want to move and follow it. Okay, so this cube, I move it up, 1/4 turn so it lands in a different column. This way, same column, so that didn't work. Okay, so 1/4 turn, and then this column where it landed is my second column up. Reverse down, so at the top, and we just moved 3 cubes around. It looks like we moved 2, but 2 of them were orange, so it didn't. So it looks it always moves 3. To demonstrate, I'm going to line this one up. I'm going to place this one up here, and this cube is not going to come here. It's going to come over here because this cube's coming over here. So I go up, slide up, reverse down, and again, it did not land here. It landed over here. So there are always 3 pieces that you're moving. If you have a parity, then parity is where it looks like there's 2 pieces and only 2 pieces that are out of place. That is never the case because the third piece, there's always 3 pieces. If you only see 2 pieces, the third piece that you do not see is literally the piece that you do not see, meaning that it is the layer that touches your parity is a 1/4 turn off internally, and if you make a 1/4 turn to set that internal slice that you could not visually see was wrong, you can only see that it's wrong if you have a parity, then set your edges around that orientation, and the parity, poof, has disappeared. So long parity algorithms are completely voluntary. You only need a parity algorithm if you want one. And I know that it's and most people do the centers first, so the parity, when you make that center slice turn to fix a parity, it does offset the centers on that slice, but I do the centers last, so it doesn't matter to me. And as far as I can tell, it wouldn't make any difference. Instead of doing the reduction method, I do corners, then edges, then centers. I work my way in, because that way I'm working with each one. So corners are done. I will come back tomorrow and do the edges. This is a good pausing time. So is old woman code for anything in cubing, or are you just saying that I'm an old woman? Because I am, and that's okay. All right, thank you for joining me. I'm going to go and feed my cat, and in the meantime, I'll come back tomorrow, and I'll do the next step is to solve the edges, the opposite edges. Because as we've established, formula B will move an edge piece from the top front to the side front. And it can go this way or this way. So play around with it, and I will be back tomorrow. Go have a good day. Have a wonderful day. Be nice to yourself. Drink lots of water, and like I said, be kind to yourself. You deserve it. All right, you guys. Bye.